Hello everyone, my name is Steve TV Online, and I am going to be submitting Mrs.Cat Between Worlds any percent. This is a very cheap game that I found online, and I said, why not play it? This has became a very quick game for me. We are going to be playing Mrs. Cat in Mars and Mrs. Cat in Neptune. We're going to play Mrs. Cat in Mars first, and this is actually the worst of my two games, but they're both really short, so it's just getting through the games. There's not really tricks in it; it's just getting through it, and it's going to be a resemblance of another game you might know. But without further ado, timing begins the second that I hit A on the 0 level. On 3, 2, 1, go. Level 0 starts, and Mrs. Cat is flying around. We don't know why Mrs. Cat is flying around. There's no real story to this game. It just says that she is flying around. So we're going to fly and going to crash land on Mars. And the first thing is that Mrs. Cat is able to jump and go through different platforms. But the gimmick of this is that the spikes that you see in the level will disappear. So it's more of a memorization of where everything is. So right now we're going through each one of these levels. They are very fast. There's going to be different gimmicks for each one of the levels. So since this is any percent, we are not going to be collecting those crystals that are up there to help fuel the ship. Instead, we're just going to take off. We claim, we as in me and some of the other people that have played the game, claim that those crystals are what are needed to start up the ship again, but even if you don't collect them, it still starts up anyway. So now we're going to go all the way over here, and we're going to collect that, and then we're going to go all the way over here, and make sure that we go in a specific pattern. I have these patterns memorized exactly as to where I need to go, so I don't end up falling anyway, or falling right into the spikes. So right here, we get another gimmick, which is these falling platforms. And then right here, if you step on these specific platforms, they disappear as you land on top of them. One thing about this game is if I manage to, every time that I die, one second, I need to focus here. There we go, cool. Every time I die, I will be donating $1. And if I don't get with a minimum of $20. That's between both worlds, not just each world. Okay, so now we're going to go all the way over here. So we are not going to be collecting that crystal. I have to I'm playing a different category that I'm used to. So we're going to go down here. Now we're going to do something a little bit dangerous here, if I can actually get up there. We're going to go up there when the spike would have been coming towards us. Now this is another gimmick that's barely going to play out on the game. We have these couple levels. We have to wait a second. Now we're going to go. If we would have gone any sooner, then we would have got hit by that spike. And now here's the last level with these teleporters, I believe. No, there's a couple more. I never remember how many there are, to be honest. But it's a very simple gimmick. So as you can see, the more that we played... Oh, crap. That was a really bad spot to die. The more that we play the game, the more of the gimmicks that get connected in together. There we go. I got up here fast enough to do that. So now here's the next gimmick, and that is these lasers. We want to make sure that we're standing in the right spot so we do not get struck by those. This is actually one of my favorite levels. Just jumping on that, the platforming on it is really fun. We're going to fall all the way down. Okay, we did make it all the way over. Sometimes you just have to trust yourself with Mrs. Cat that she will make it over. We're going to go over here. Oh. Okay, we're good. We're going to run all the way over here. Cool. Now we're going to get these jump platforms, and these jump platforms can be a detriment to us and also help us out quite a bit. So we're going to go down here and make sure you jump over those ones, otherwise you will hit the spikes. Here we go, up here. Oops. This level, if you get off cycle, is really bad, because then you have to wait. Dang it. Let's try that again. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so this level is one of the harder levels, so we want to make sure we jump up here, jump down here, and then we want to make sure... Perfect. Not too difficult. This is a level, however, that took me forever to get down like a pattern that we want to do. We want to make sure that that spike goes all the way over, then we're going to jump up and over, and there we go. We made it through. First try. Now we go on to this gimmick of the game, and this is the moving platforms. For some reason, in my mind, I freak out every time that I have to walk on these, so I'm going to take these levels a little bit more carefully than actually necessary to get through, because I don't like them at all. We're going to stand over there because we can't get hit. Perfect. Then we're going to go up here. Then fall down. And this time we're actually going to stand on this side so we don't fall in that way. Now we go into another one of the harder levels of the game. Oops! I made it through the first try, but then I ran right into... Go, Steve. Perfect. Alright. So now we get this other gimmick, which is these bullets that actually follow you. They're not super difficult as long as you know where you're going. There isn't like anything like special about it. We have to take a dangerous jump there in order to get through. Then we're going to go right here, and we're going to hit that. We're going to go all the way down here. Wait for a second, then we're going to go all the way through. Then I'm going to take a fun little... yes, that is a strategy to do. There's not many in here. And also, every strategy that you're going to see me do is actually found by me, because I'm the current only runner of this game. So now we're getting to the final gimmick of the game, and that's going to be these invisible cats. They're kind of like boos in Mario, where they follow you, but they cannot disappear if you look at them. They just constantly follow you. So you want to make sure that you're constantly moving. There we go. So we're getting close to the end of this game, of this section of the game. Perfect. This is the last level of Mrs.Cat in Mars. Almost up there, good. And then when we get into here, what we're going to do is we're actually going to back out, and we're going to go back into the game, because there is no there is no way to actually go to a menu to switch out games. But anyway, we are going to go, and we are going to go into Mrs.Cat and Neptune, which is my better of the two games. So what we're going to do here is we're actually going to start off on level 0, and now we're going to be teleporting again, and we're still not going to be collecting crystals, but this time the game is going to look a little bit different. I'm not sure if anybody's ever heard of a small game by the likes of... I think it's called Celeste or something like that. I'm not sure if anybody else has heard of that game, but I heard that it took some inspiration from that little tiny indie game, including the boosting in the air here. I do have to say, though, with all jokes aside, I am not good at Celeste, but for some reason I'm good at this game. So we're just going to go through the game as quickly as possible, and this is, like I said, in Neptune is a lot more fun to me, and I'm better at in Neptune. Like, levels like this are super tight, and I love it. So right here, we're going to go all the way over. Perfect. Go over this way, jump in. Go all the way up, boost. Ooh, I couldn't save that. I've never actually fallen there before, so that was a brand new one. Perfect. And all the way down. And up. Perfect. So right here, these look a little bit intimidating. There's a lot of stuff on screen, but as long as you know that when the spikes are up in the air, that's when you jump, then it makes that level much easier. Perfect. This one, another one that could be intimidating, but if you get the right cycle, all you have to do is jump. Same thing here, you make sure that they're up in the air, and then you can jump forward. Right here we have some more spikes. You're going to get into the center of them. This time there's no way to actually dodge them. Oops! Went a little bit too far, Mrs. Cat. So instead of doing that, we're going to go all the way up, and now we're going to go down. And wait, perfect. This is a interesting one. Get through there, go through there, boost through, fall down, then up here. Alright, so now we're going to go up this direction. And down and through. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All the way over there. Then we're going to jump onto this. And go all the way over. Now this one is a fun level. You just want to go down here and then dash. And you just have to trust your dash that you will land on that every time. I promise you. If you get that, if you get the right dash right there, you will always land on it. You can reach that area, the portal at the very end, without having to land on anything else. But I was just a little bit off cycle, which is fine. There we go, like that. So right here, we just have to wait for that. Awesome, and now we have to go again. This is one of the levels that I actually found another skip in. So you don't actually have to wait for that. I kind of fell down, but you don't actually have to wait for that. You can actually jump on the very edge and get down. There we go, perfect. So if this wasn't like Celeste enough, we now have these little boxes that allow for you to continue your dash. Which, as I said before, exactly the same as if it was Celeste. So this is one of the harder levels in the game. Make sure... Ooh, I just barely made that. Let's go. So now we have to wait until that bottom one was down before we continued to make that a little bit easier. So we did that first try, which is good. And not as hard for the first one. Oops. Jumped right onto it. We're gonna wait. Go. Oops. Ah! So this one is very tight. I don't look at the ones that are in front of me. I actually look at the ones that are behind me at that section. Then we go on to this one. This is one of the few this is one of the few areas in the game that I don't actually have like a way to do this really good. Was just that level alone. After that, I'm perfectly fine. I have ways to get through each one of these now. And a lot of these are going to be super tight, except for ones like this, where if you just can constantly run, you will not get hit. So right here, we have to wait just a second for everything to line up. Perfect. It looks scary, I know, but that's like the best cycle for you to actually get through that. I don't know any other way but to wait for that section. Perfect. Now we're gonna dash through these. The gimmick here is that you can boost through the solid ones, but the ones that have the cross on them, if you land on them, they give you spikes instantly. So it gives us a fun level like this. Then we have this level. Then we have this level, like I said. Perfect. Alright, so now we're gonna go over here. So you want to try and go a little bit lower on those boxes, because for some reason Mrs. Cat doesn't like to go on those. So we're actually getting very close to the end. The end is going to be right when we get in here, and time. So that was Mrs. Cat Between Worlds, any %. If you enjoyed that game, I would love to have this in the marathon. I would love to show this off. I can have this, and there's also another category that could be shown off as an incentive for 100% all crystals. But anyway, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope it gets just for the marathon. Thank you.